Hello, welcome to SSC GK. Here you have daily videos for daily learning. It's the only platform where you will get high quality GK questions specifically for SSC, CGL, SSC, CHSL and other government examinations. So let us begin. First question is, in which year was the famous battle of Khanwa fought between Babur and Rana Sanga? In which year was the famous battle of Khanwa fought between Babur and Rana Sanga? The options are 1526, 1527, 1528 and 1529. The correct answer is 1527. So it was fought near Khanwa in Rajasthan. This battle secured the Mughal Empire's initial hold over northern India. So the political outcome was the Babur declared this conflict a holy war as jihad and assumed the victorious title of Ghazi after defeating the alliance. Now, to remember, let us look at some tricks. So in Hindi, a sentence, Pani piya, khana khaya, chand dekha, ghar gaya, which means drank water, ate food, saw moon, and went house. So Pani Piya, Pani. So you can remember it with Panipat. So just associate number 26 with Pani Piya. Then Khana Khaya. Associate it with Khanwa, Battle of Khanwa, and remember a number 27. Then Chand Dekha. So associate it with Battle of Chanderi and the year 1528. So just remember 28 with Chand Dekha and Ghar Gaya as 29 and Ghar can be associated with Battle of Khagra. So basically the number starts from 26, 27, 28 and 29. You can remember it continuously from 26 and just the line Pani piya khana khaya chand dekha ghar gaya. Then you get four questions answer, that is Battle of Panipat in 1526, Battle of Khanwa in 1527 and Battle of Chanderi in 1529. Second question is, which committee recommended the incorporation of fundamental duties in the Indian Constitution? Which committee recommended the incorporation of fundamental duties in Indian Constitution? So options are Sarkaria Commission, Bhalwan Rai Mehta Committee, Swaran Singh Committee and Verma Committee. So the answer is Swaran Singh Committee. So it was the 42nd Amendment in 1976. So he recommended 8 duties, but Parliament eventually added 10 duties into Part 4A, which is Article 51A. So the current status is the 11th duty, the compulsory education for children aged 6 to 14 was added via the 86th Amendment Act in 2002. So just to remember this answer, so Swaran, so basically Swaran, you can remember it with gold. So Swaran means gold in Hindi. So ideal citizens of India should perform their golden duties. So golden duties, that means Swaran Singh. So basically duties, you can relate it with the Swaran Committee. Now the third question is, the Indian Standard Time IST meridian 82.5 degree east passes through which of the following cities? So the Indian Standard Time IST meridian 82.5 degree east passes through which of the following cities? Options are A. Mirzapur in UP, B. Patna in Bihar, C. Ranchi in Jharkhand and D. Nagpur in Maharashtra. The answer is Mirzapur in UP. So it is calculated on the basis of 82 degree 30 to east starting from the Sangragar Fort in Mirzapur. So there are 5 Indian states through which the meridian passes, and these are Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Odisha and Andhra Pradesh. So how you can remember these 5 states? So just remember the acronym COUMA, C-O-U-M-A. So basically in COUMA, C stands for Chhattisgarh, O stands for Odisha, U stands for Uttar Pradesh, M stands for Madhya Pradesh and A stands for Andhra Pradesh. Okay, and also remember that IST, Indian Standard Time, is ahead of Greenwich Meridian Time by exactly 5 hours and 30 minutes. Okay, so these are the important points related to this. Let us see the next question. Scurvy, a bleeding gums disorder, is caused by the deficiency of which vitamin? Scurvy, the name is scurvy. It's a bleeding gums disorder and it is caused due to the deficiency of which vitamin? The options are vitamin A, vitamin B12, vitamin C and vitamin D. So the correct answer is vitamin C. So the chemical name of vitamin C is ascorbic acid. So the chemical name of vitamin C is ascorbic acid. So it is essential for the collagen synthesis and tissue repair in a human body. So what are the sources of vitamin C? So you can get vitamin C from citrus fruits like amla, oranges, lemon, and guava. And these are highly sensitive to heat. So remember, these are the vitamins which can easily go if you heat it. And extra point for here. So unlike the fat soluble vitamins A, D, E, and K, vitamin C is water soluble, meaning it is excreted easily and must be consumed daily. So vitamin C is a water soluble, whereas vitamin A, D, E, and K are fat soluble vitamins. Now how you can remember here this question? So basically, vitamin C prevents scurvy. So scurvy, you have a C, right? So think of citrus fruits and healthy collagen. So in this way, you can connect scurvy with vitamin C. Now the next question, first 5-year plan of India 1951 to 1956. So the first 5-year plan, which begins from 1951 plus 5, that is 1956, was based on which economic model? So which economic model was based to the first 5-year plan? The options are Mahalanobis model, Harrod-Domar model, Solo-Swan model, and Rao-Manmohan model. The correct answer is Harrod-Domar model. So basically, in this model, they targeted the primary sector like development, agricultural irrigation, and massive dam construction projects. Now, with this question, you can remember the associated second year 5-year plan, which begins from 1956 plus 5, that leads to 1961. In this second 5-year plan, the importance was given to industries towards heavy industrialization, and the model was Nehru-Mahalanobis model. So how you can remember this? So the memory trick we present here is the Harrod-Domar. So Harrod-Domar basically starts with H and D. So we need high definition water and agriculture first before setting up heavy machinery. So basically in the first 5-year plan, what was the importance given to? Water and agriculture. So we need a heavy water and agriculture importance. So in that way, you can connect with Harrod and Domar model as the first 5-year plan. The next question is, which script was predominantly used in Ashokan inscriptions located in eastern parts of India? Which script was predominantly used in Ashokan inscriptions located in eastern parts of India? Options are Kharosthi, B. Brahmi, C. Aramaic, and D. Greek. The correct answer is Brahmi. So Brahmi is mostly written in the Prakrit language. Northwestern inscriptions used Kharosthi, Greek, and Aramaic. It was first successfully deciphered by British archaeologist James Prinsep in 1837. Now how you can remember here? Ashoka connected with the ordinary public using Prakrit language. So you can remember it like that. Ashoka connected with the ordinary public using Prakrit language carved via the ancient Brahmi script. Okay, so Ashoka connected with ordinary public using Prakrit language, which was carved using Brahmi script. So in this way, you can remember this answer. The next question is, which constitutional article provides for provision of joint sitting of both houses in India? Which constitutional article provides for provision of joint sitting of both houses in India? The options are A. Article 108, B. Article 110, C. Article 112, and D. Article 114. The correct answer is A. Article 108. So basically, the President of India calls for the joint sitting to resolve persistent legislative deadlocks between the houses. But there is an exception. In the case of a money bill, this cannot be used, cannot be summoned for a money bill, which is basically in Article 110. So Article 110 talks about money bill or a constitutional amendment bill. So in these both cases, except for these cases, the President of India can call a joint sitting of both the houses using Article 108. Now, how you can remember this? So basically, we use the number 108 previously as emergency phone number, medical emergency phone number. So think that when there is an emergency, the president needs to call both the houses. So we need Article 108, the number 108 can be used. Okay, so for joint sitting. Next question. Which river is the longest river in peninsular India, often called Dakshin Ganga? Which river is the longest river in peninsular India, often called Dakshin Ganga? The options are A. Krishna, B. Godavari, C. Narmada, and D. Kaveri. The answer is Godavari. So Godavari, which is like almost 1,465 kilometers in length, it originates in Trimbakeshwara Hills near Nasik, Maharashtra, and its basin it flows through Maharashtra, Telangana, and Andhra Pradesh, discharging into Bay of Bengal. Now, what is the memory trick you can utilize here? Godavari. Godavari, you can treat it as grandmother, grandmother of peninsular rivers. So basically, grandmother, then you can relate it to as the oldest. So oldest and largest grandmother in the family will be the one of the top member. So oldest and largest. Hence, you can say it as the Ganga of the south. So in Ganga of south, you can take it as consider Godavari because it is the grandmother of peninsula rivers, oldest and largest. In this way, you can remember this question. Next question is, a light year is an astronomical unit primarily used to measure which quantity? Light year is an astronomical unit primarily used to measure which quantity? The options are time, distance, speed of light, and intensity of light. The correct answer is distance. So when you see light year, don't confuse with other things because this unit is used in astronomical cases to understand what is the distance between the astronomical bodies. So there is another unit related to this is parsec. So parsec is another unit of distance used in astronomy. So what is the definition of light year? It is the total distance that light travels in a vacuum in 1 Julian year, and that is approximately 9.46 trillion kilometers. Now, how you can remember? It contains the word year. In light year, there is a word year. So, year means time. It makes the vast cosmic road, distance the light travels. Okay, so year means like long. So it is like traveling. It's like traveling. So you must relate it with distance. So in that way, you can remember light year as a unit for distance. And also you can remember the speed of the light as 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second in vacuum. So the speed of the light is 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second in vacuum. The next question is, the Kathakali classical dance drama is native to which of the following Indian states? The Kathakali classical dance drama is native to which of the following Indian states? Options are A. Kerala, B. Tamil Nadu, C. Andhra Pradesh, and D. Karnataka. The answer is Kerala. So it is basically one of the important traditional dance forms of Kerala. It features elaborate facial makeup, green painted faces, and intense eye expression. Traditionally, the ancient epics like Ramayana, Mahabharata, and Purana, based on these themes, this dance form is presented. So how you can remember here? So basically, Kathakali. Kathakali starts with K. So K for Kerala. So Kathakali and another traditional form in Kerala is Kalaripayat. So Kalaripayat also stands with K. So basically, three Ks: Kathakali, Kalaripayat, and Kerala all starts with K. So remember it in that way. And apart from Kathakali, we in Kerala there is one more dance form, that is Mohini Attam. So Kerala is unique in hosting two of the eight official classical dances of India. So we do have eight official classical dances, among which two, Kathakali and Mohini Attam, are in Kerala. The next question, who introduced the permanent settlement of Bengal land revenue system in the year 1793? So in 1793, who introduced the permanent settlement of Bengal land revenue system? The options are Lord Hastings, Lord Warren Hastings, Lord Cornwallis, and Lord Wellesley. The answer is Lord Cornwallis. So basically, the landlords or zamindars were recognized as absolute owners, paying a fixed tax share to the East India Company. So out of the collected rent, 10 by 11th went directly to the company, by 1 by 11th was kept by zamindars. So how you can remember? Corn. So you know corn. Corn is a food crop, grows in the soil or land permanently. So Lord Cornwallis established the permanent settlement. So Lord Cornwallis, corn. So corn is grown in land. So you can relate it with zamindar, land. So related to land. So corn. So Cornwallis. So it was related to land. So land means land tax. So zamindar or landlords. So in that way, you can relate this question. So Lord Cornwallis is the correct answer. Next question is, by which constitutional amendment act was the right to property deleted from fundamental rights? So now the right to property is no more a fundamental right. So which constitutional amendment act lead to such deletion? So the options are 42nd Amendment, 44th Amendment, 86th Amendment, and 52nd Amendment. The answer is 44th Amendment. So basically, currently moved to Article 300A in Part 12, acting as a constitutional or legal right instead of a fundamental right. So now this is no more a fundamental right, but instead it has been changed into a constitutional or a legal right. So it was passed under the Janata Party administration headed by Prime Minister Morarji Desai in 1978. Now, how you can remember? So basically, remember 4 plus 4 is equal to 8. So 4 plus 4 equal to 8, and it was done in the year 1978. So 1978 ends with 8, and this Act Amendment 44, that is 4 plus 4 is equal to 8. Right to property was repositioned to make it legal and not fundamental. So remember, now it is no more a fundamental right, but it has changed into a constitutional or a legal right. It was done by 44th Amendment. So 44, 4 plus 4, 8. So it was done in 1978. Okay. So next question is, Majuli, the largest inhabited river island in the world, is situated on which of the following rivers? Majuli, the largest inhabited river island in the world, is situated on which of the following rivers? So the options are A. Ganga, B. Brahmaputra, C. Godavari, D. Indus. A. Ganga, B. Brahmaputra, C. Godavari, and D. Indus. The answer is Brahmaputra. So Brahmaputra, basically located in Assam, it is historically the first island to be declared as administrative district in India. So when you remember about Brahmaputra, remember about Assam, which is the first island to be declared. So the Majuli is the first island to be declared as an administrative district in India. So it was created by the Brahmaputra river in south and Subhansiri and Kerkutia channels in the north. Now how you can remember? Majuli, Majuli. So it begins like Majuli. So belongs to the mighty creator Brahma. So Majuli belongs to the mighty creator Brahma. So in that way, you can relate that Brahmaputra, that is son of Brahma, holds this giant island. So Majuli, which belongs to the mighty creator Brahma. Then Brahmaputra, the son of Brahma, holds this giant island. So Majuli is located in Assam, and it is the first island to be declared as an administrative district in India. Okay. So the next question is, what is the correct chemical name for common household baking soda? The common household baking soda we use, what is the chemical name for it? The options are sodium carbonate, sodium bicarbonate, calcium carbonate, and sodium chloride. So this is an easy question. The answer is sodium bicarbonate. So the chemical formula is NaHCO3. So it is said as sodium bicarbonate. So what is the nature? It is white crystalline solid compound. We use this in our day-to-day life. So it functions as a leavening agent in culinary arts, as well as it acts as a mild medical antacid. So how you can remember? So you need to buy ingredients to bake cookies. For baking cookies, you need to buy. Thus, bicarbonate is baking soda. So bicarbonate. So to bake, you need to buy, and for baking, you need bicarbonate. Like bicarbonate is baking soda. So in this way, you can remember. Now, associated with this is another term you can remember: sodium carbonate, Na2CO3, which is basically called as washing soda, and it is used in detergents and manufacturing glass. So washing soda is used in detergent, so it's called washing soda, and it is also used in manufacturing glass. So the next question is Kuchipudi, a prominent classical dance style of India, originated in which state? Kuchipudi, a prominent classical dance style of India, originated in which state? So the correct answer is Andhra Pradesh. So how the name Kuchipudi? It was named after Kuchilepuram village in Krishna district of Andhra Pradesh. So we know Krishna district is in Andhra Pradesh, and there is a village called Kuchelapuram. So after that Kuchipudi name was taken. So Tarangam is a unique feature where dancers balance on the rim of brass plates. So in this Tarangam, a unique feature where dancers balance on the rims of brass plates. So in Kuchipudi, you can find dancers balancing themselves on rims of brass plates, and this is called Tarangam. Now, how you can remember? If you cook a kacha puri, if you cook a kacha in Hindi means raw. So if you cook a kacha puri, only a blind person. So antha is the blind term. So Andhra you can relate with Andhra. So just to remember, you can relate Andha, blind, with Andhra. So will eat without noticing. That is, a blind person can eat without noticing a raw puri, a kacha puri. So kuchu puri, Andhra Pradesh. In that way, you can relate. Okay. Next question. During which mass movement did Mahatma Gandhi give the famous call of do or die? A very easy question, right? Do or die. So, which was the movement where Mahatma Gandhi said either you do or die? The options are non-cooperation movement, civil disobedience movement, Quit India movement, and Khilafat movement. The answer is Quit India movement. So Quit India movement launched in August 8, 1942 from the Govalia Tank Maidan in Bombay. So what was the immediate action? Almost all prominent Congress leaders were jailed under this British Operation Zero Hour. So how you can remember? Quit India happened in 1942. So in 1942, they said we are forced to do or die in 42. So in that way, you can use this rhyme. We are forced to do or die in 42. So in that way, you can relate Quit India movement happened in 1942. So the rhyme is we are forced to do or die in 42. So just remember this sentence. You can easily get Quit India that happened in 1942 and do or die. The next question is who presides over a joint sitting of both houses of Indian Parliament? Who presides over a joint sitting of both houses of the Indian Parliament? The correct answer is Speaker of Lok Sabha. Speaker of Lok Sabha. So the constitutional rule is Article 118 sub 4 empowers the Speaker. If absent, the Deputy Speaker of the Lok Sabha presides. So if the Speaker is absent, then the Deputy Speaker of the Lok Sabha can preside. Then what is the role of Rajya Sabha? The Deputy Chairman of Rajya Sabha can preside, but the Chairman, Vice President never does. So here the Deputy Chairman of Rajya Sabha can preside, but the Chairman, which is the Vice, who is the Vice President of India, can never do so. So how you can remember? A joint sitting is noisy and crowded. So you need a strong, a loud speaker. So loud speaker from Lok Sabha. So loudspeaker from Lok Sabha to maintain a parliamentary decorum. So who is the person who who can preside in the both house? That is Speaker of the Lok Sabha, a loud speaker. In that way, you can remember. The next question is Which is the highest mountain peak in Peninsular or South India? So, which is the highest mountain peak in Peninsular or South India? Options are A. Doda Beta, B. Anamudi, C. Mahendragiri, and D. Guru Shikhar. The answer is Anamudi. So it stands at 2,695 meters, located inside the Iravikulam National Park, which is in Kerala, in the Western Ghat. So Western Ghat, so you can relate it with Anamudi, which stands at 2,695 meters, located in Iravikulam National Park. And what are the alternative peaks? So Doda Beta, which is 2,637 meters, is the second highest and tallest peak of Nilagiri range. Now, what is the memory trick you can remember? So, Anna means elder brother in South India or basically in Tamil Nadu. So, Anna means elder brother or supreme chief in South India. So, Anamudi is the supreme chief peak of South. So, the biggest, Anamudi is the biggest peak of South. So, in that way, you can remember. And literally, Anamudi means elephant's forehead in Malayalam. In Malayalam, Anamudi literally translates to elephant's forehead. Now the next question is, sound waves are unable to propagate or travel through which of the following? Options are steam, water, vacuum, and air. So sound waves are unable to propagate or travel through which of the following? The answer is vacuum. So sound is basically a mechanical wave that requires a medium, a physical medium like solids, liquids, or gases to travel. So it cannot travel in vacuum. So the speed trends, if we look at it, sound travels fastest in solids like steel and slowest in gaseous medium like air. So if you're standing at a railway station and if you keep your ear on the railway track and on the same time, if you try to hear on the platform, you can hear the train sound better and fastest by keeping your ear on the railway track because its sound travels fastest in solid like steel. So how you can remember here? So basically, the physics trick here is if there are no molecules, no collisions will take place and no sound. So basically, in a vacuum, the space is completely silent because it is a giant mediumless. Okay, so in vacuum, there are no molecules, so no collision, so no sound. So in that way, you can remember that speed does not exist in vacuum. Not speed, that is the sound. That is, there will be no sound in vacuum. So what is the next question? Who is universally recognized as father of the Green Revolution in India? So who is the father of Green Revolution in India? The options are A. Norman Borlaug, B. M.S. Swaminathan, C. Verghese Kurian, and D. Sam Pitroda. The answer is M.S. Swaminathan. So he introduced the high yield varieties HYV of wheat seeds to Indian agriculture in the late 1960s. So this was a time where India was facing terribly and performing poor in the agricultural areas. And now, associated with this question, you can also remember Dr. Verghese Kurian, who is known as the father of the White Revolution or Milk and Operational Flood. Now, how you can remember here? The ultimate lord of agricultural crop field is Swami. So the lord of agricultural crop is Swami. We call Swami as the lord, right? So in that way, you can remember Dr. Swaminathan brought agricultural abundance. So Dr. Swaminathan, so he is the father of green revolution. So agriculture basically greenery. So father of green revolution, it's Lord Swami, that is M.S. Swaminathan. In that way, you can remember. So father of Indian Green Revolution. But in international level, you can remember Norman Borlaug is recognized as global father of Green Revolution. So global father of Green Revolution is Norman Borlaug, but the father of Indian Green Revolution is Dr. M.S. Swaminathan. So next question is, Silent Valley, a national park famous for its rare lion-tailed macaque, is located in which state? The options are Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Kerala, and Andhra Pradesh. So, Silent Valley National Park is famous for its lion-tailed macaque. So the answer is Kerala. So it is located in the Palakkad district of Kerala within biodiversity hotspot of the Western Ghat. So how you can remember here? So people in Kerala are said to be highly educated, right? People in Kerala are said to be highly educated. So since they're highly educated, they don't talk unnecessarily. They remain very calm and silent. They remain very calm and silent. So the Silent Valley is located in Kerala. So Kerala is very beautiful with green valleys. So people in Kerala are very educated, so they don't talk unnecessarily. So they remain silent and calm. So Silent Valley is located in Kerala. Okay. Now, what is the next question? Who was the actual founder of slave dynasty, Mamluk dynasty in India? So, who was the actual founder of the slave dynasty, Mamluk dynasty in India? The options are Iltutmish, Qutb uddin Aibak, Giyasuddin Balban, and Razia Sultana. The answer is Qutb uddin Aibak. So basically, he founded the dynasty in 1206 AD. He was a trusted slave of Muhammad Ghori. He was known as Lakh Bhaksh, that is, giver of lakhs, due to his highly generous, kind donations to the public. So how you can remember here? So the founder of a slave dynasty will surely build the base of a minar like a giant pillar, Qutub Minar. So the founder of a slave dynasty will build the base of a minar like a giant pillar, Qutub Minar. So in that way, you can remember Qutub Uddin Aibak. So he's also related to Qutub Minar. The next question is, who was the first woman president of the Indian National Congress? Who was the first woman president of the Indian National Congress? The options are A. Sarojini Naidu, B. Annie Besant, C. Neeli Sengupta, and D. Indira Gandhi. The correct answer is B. Annie Besant. So Annie Besant presided over the Calcutta session of the Congress in 1917. So Annie Besant presided over Calcutta session of the Congress in 1917. Now, who was the first Indian woman? Sarojini Naidu was the first Indian woman president presiding in 1925 Kanpur. So Annie Besant, although she presided first for the Calcutta session, was not Indian. So Sarojini Naidu was the first Indian woman president presiding in 1925 Kanpur session. Now, how you can remember? Annie starts with A, so comes first in the alphabetical order before Sarojini, with who starts with S. So Annie starts with A and Sarojini starts with S. So Annie comes first before Sarojini. So in that way, you can remember Annie was the first to preside. Now, Annie Besant, basically of Irish origin, was the leading member of the Theosophical Society and co-founded the Home Rule League. This is an extra point you can remember with Annie Besant. She was of Irish origin and she was the leading member of the Theosophical Society and co-founded the Home Rule League. So the next question is, what is the scientific or the chemical name of vitamin D? So what is the scientific or chemical name of vitamin D? Options are retinol, calciferol, tocopherol, and thiamine. The answer is calciferol. So role. The critical for the vitamin D is critical for absorption of calcium in the gut, ensuring strong bones and teeth. So what the deficiency of vitamin D cause? So it causes rickets. So along with vitamin D, also known as calciferol, you must remember the deficiency of vitamin D causes rickets in children, that is basically deformed bones, and osteomalacia in adults, that is causing weak bones. Now how you can remember? Vitamin D is directly linked to calcium for bones. So if you have less vitamin D, it will lead to calcium deficiency and hence the name calciferol. So vitamin D related with calcium, so it is named as calciferol. And how normally vitamin D is synthesized by the human body? So normally it is synthesized when the skin is exposed directly to ultraviolet rays from sunlight. So the next question is, the concept of fundamental rights in the Indian Constitution was borrowed from. The concept of fundamental rights in the Indian Constitution was borrowed from option A, United Kingdom, option B, United States of America, option C, Ireland, and option D, Australia. The correct answer is option B, United States of America. So basically, it was modeled after the US Bill of Rights. It was enshrined in Part 3, that is Article 12 to Article 35. So Part 3 is famously described as Magna Carta of the Indian Constitution. The Part 3 is famously described as Magna Carta. Now, how you can remember? The US is obsessed with personal freedom and rights. So the US is normally known for more freedom. So if you go to US, you get more personal freedom and rights. So the fundamental rights are imported from the USA to India. So the fundamental rights are imported from the USA to India. So in that way, you can remember fundamental rights were borrowed from USA to India. The next question is, which constitutional article deals with the office of the Comptroller and Auditor General (CAG) of India? So which constitutional article deals with the Comptroller and Auditor General of India? The answer is Article 148. So Article 148 is related to the Comptroller and Auditor General of India. So basically, the CAG acts as the guardian of the public purse and audits all government transactions. So he is appointed by the President of India for a term of 6 years or up to 65 years of age. So how you can remember or what is the mnemonic? So audit stands with A, and CAG keeps an eye on public asset A. So Article 148. So article which starts with audit which starts with A. So A, the number can be used 1. 1 can be used to represent A. And CAG keeps an eye on public assets. So basically, you can try to relate 148 in that terms. So Article 148 as the article related to CAG. The next question is, Ghumar, a popular folk dance of women, is native to which Indian state? Ghumar, a popular folk dance of women, is native to which Indian state? The options are Gujarat, B. Rajasthan, C. Punjab, and D. Haryana. The correct answer is B. Rajasthan. So it was developed by Bhil tribe and it was later adopted by the royal families of Rajasthan. So it is usually performed by women wearing flowing dresses called ghagara in rhythmic circular movement, and that's why it's called ghumar, circular. So the meaning of ghoom is to spin around. So Rajasthan's grand queens love to ghumar in their sandy places. So you can remember that in Rajasthan, a lot of deserts. So in desert, it is easy to spin, it is easy to ghoom. So the people of Rajasthan, the queens of Rajasthan, or the women of Rajasthan, they started to spin. So ghumar in Rajasthan. Okay. So the next question is, which organization holds the sole authority to print currency notes in India? Which organization holds the sole authority to print currency notes in India? So it is one of the easy questions. The options are Ministry of Finance, Reserve Bank of India, State Bank of India, and Security Printing and Minting Corporation. So the answer is Reserve Bank of India. So except the 1 rupee note and the coins which are issued directly by the Ministry of Finance, which is signed by the Finance Secretary, all other currency are being looked after by RBI. So RBI was established in April 1, 1935 under the RBI Act of 1934 on the Hilton Young Commission's recommendation. Now, how you can remember here? So the reserve contains all the cash. Only the Supreme RBI has the power to print notes above rupee 1. So above rupee 1 and coins, only the Reserve Bank. So RBI is a supreme power in that case. So they are the only one who prints the currencies except rupee 1 and the coins. Okay, in that way you can remember. The next question is, which acid is primarily present in sour milk or curd? So in sour milk or curd, which acid is primarily present? The options are citric acid, lactic acid, tartaric acid, and oxalic acid. The correct answer is lactic acid. So lactic acid is the correct answer. So lactic bacillus bacteria which ferment lactose, that is milk sugar, into lactic acid, curdling the milk proteins. So lactic acid accumulation in human muscle cells during heavy exercises causes cramps. So normally when you get cramps, it is due to the accumulation of lactic acid. So how you can remember? Lact. Lact like lactose or lactobacillus is a prefix for anything related to milk. So related to milk, the word lact is always associated. So if the question is what is the word related to milk or the curd, you can remember it with lact. So here the lactic acid. Okay. Next question is in which year was the historical battle of Haldighati fought? So in which year was the historical battle of Haldighati fought? The options are A 1556, B 1576, C 1526 and D 1586. The answer is B 1576. So it was fought between Rana Pratap of Mewar and the Mughal forces, which was led by Man Singh I of Amber, that is Akbar's general. So the battle site was fought at a narrow mountain pass in Haldighati, named for its yellow soil. So Haldi, which is basically the turmeric, that is the yellowish color. So named for its yellow soil resembling turmeric. So how you can remember here, the historic mnemonic is like Haldi, turmeric has bright yellow color. So Akbar's forces fought Mewar in 1576. So 76 equal to yellow mix. So in that way, you can try to remember 76 equal to yellow mix. So in that way, you can try to remember. So in 1576, Battle of Haldi Ghati. The next question is, which is the largest freshwater lake in India? Which is the largest freshwater lake in India? The options are Chilika Lake, Bular Lake, Vembanad Lake and Dal Lake. The correct answer is Bular Lake. So located in Bandipora district of Jammu and Kashmir, it is fed directly by the Jhelum river. So basically it is formed as a result of tectonic activity making it a natural structural depression. So just remember that Bular Lake is one of the largest freshwater lake. So fresh water makes us cool in the warm weather. So Bula sounds like cooler. So Bular sounds like cooler. So in that way, to get cooler, you have to go to Bular. So it is the fresh water. So cool fresh water is in Bular lakes. In that way, you can remember. And associated with this, you can remember one more lake, Chilika Lake. Chilika Lake is in Odisha. It is the largest brackish water. So brackish means saline, which contains lot of salt. So lagoon in India and is designated Ramsar site. It's also one of the Ramsar site. So the next question is, who wrote the famous biography of Emperor Akbar, which is titled as Akbarnama? So who wrote the famous biography of Emperor Akbar, which is titled as Akbarnama? The options are Todar Mal, Abul Fasal, Birbal, and Abdul Rahim Khan-e Khana. The correct answer is Abdul Fasal. So it was written in Persian and it consists of 3 volumes, where the third volume is famously known as Ain-i-Akbari. Abul Fazl was one of the 9 jewels, Navaratnas, in the court of Emperor Akbar. So in court of Emperor Akbar, he had 9 jewels, 9 important people, among which Abul Fazl was one among them. So how you can remember? To write a grand book, you need a writer who is able. So to write a grand book, you need somebody who is able to write, who is able. So able means Abul. So Abul. So Abul has Fasal. Fasal basically means grace. So goodness. So Abul Fasal. So to write a great book, you need somebody who is able. So he's Abul. So able Abul. So Abul Fasal, who has grace. The next question is, who was the first Governor General of Bengal appointed under the Regulating Act of 1773? Who was the first Governor General of Bengal appointed under the Regulating Act of 1773? The options are A. Robert Clive, B. Warren Hastings, C. Lord William Bentinck, and D. Lord Mountbatten. The correct answer is B. Warren Hastings. Basically, he abolished the dual system of government in Bengal, which was originally introduced by Robert Clive. So Warren Hastings was the person. So now let us try to remember. So Establishing early British control required a very hasty man. So to bring a British control, we need a hasty man, right? We need a hasty means very tough man. So thus Warren Hastings was the first governor general. So in that way you can remember Warren Hastings was the first governor general, because to start the British control you need a very hasty person, you need a very tough person. So in that way you can try to remember Warren Hastings as the first governor general. Okay, so moving on to the next question. Which constitutional article guarantees the right to education to children from 6 to 14? So, which constitutional article guarantees the right to education to children aged 6 to 14? The options are Article 19, Article 21A, Article 45, and Article 51A. Correct answer is Article 21A. So it was inserted via the 86th Constitutional Amendment Act of 2002 to make primary education a fundamental right. The Right to Education (RT) Act was passed in 2009 and came into effect on April 1, 2010. Now, how you can remember? So in education, we always talk about A plus. So in education, we need always talk about A plus. So Article 21A is for education. So Article 21A is for education. So in that way, you can try to remember. The next question is, the famous Sanji Stupa in Madhya Pradesh was originally built by Mauryan emperor. So the famous Sanji Stupa in Madhya Pradesh was originally built by which Mauryan emperor is the question. So the options are A. Chandragupta Maurya, B. Ashoka, C. Bindusara, and D. Dasharatha. So the correct answer is Ashoka. So basically it was commissioned in the 3rd century BCE to house sacred relics of Lord Buddha. So it was surrounded by intricately carved stone gateways, which are called toranas, representing Jataka tales. So basically, the emperor who abandoned war and prompted peace, Buddhism was Ashoka. Basically, we know that Ashoka was the emperor who abandoned war, who said that we don't need war anymore and promoted peace. Peace, basically Buddhism, globally was Ashoka. So in that way, you can remember Ashoka as the answer. And also, the Great Sanji Stupa, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, is prominently featured on the reverse of the modern rupee 200 note. So this point also can be remembered along with this. Now the next question is, what is the chemical formula for ozone gas? So what is the chemical formula for ozone gas? The options are O2, O3, CO2, and H2O. So the answer is O3. So O3 basically is an allotrope of oxygen. It's a different form of oxygen composed of 3 oxygen atoms bonded together. It is primarily found in the stratosphere layer of the atmosphere. So atmosphere has different layers. So in stratosphere layer, primarily ozone is found, and it protects Earth from harmful ultraviolet rays from the sun. So meaning oxygen has 2 atoms. So we represent oxygen by O2, but ozone is a trioxygen, 3 oxygen molecules. So we write it as O3. Okay. Next question is, the red color of the red soil is primarily due to wide presence of options magnesium, iron oxide, silica, or humus. So the red soil's red color is due to presence of which thing? The option is magnesium, iron oxide, silica, and humus. The correct answer is iron oxide. So it is created by weathering of crystalline metamorphic rocks in low rainfall areas. So it appears yellow when it occurs in hydrated form, indicating high moisture content. So when water presence increases, it appears yellow in color. Now how you can try to remember? So rust on iron is always reddish brown. So you know whenever the iron material in your house rusts, so it appears reddish brown color. Similarly, a soil which appears a reddish color should have a presence of iron. So iron oxides. So iron oxides turn soil red. And along with this, you can remember the black soil, which is also called rigor, is an excellent for cotton cultivation. And also the laterite soil is highly suitable for cashew nut plantation. So along with this soil, you can remember black soil, which is good for cotton cultivation, and the laterite soil, which is suitable for cashew nut, tea, and tea plantation. Next question is, who is designated as real head of government in the Republic of India? So in the Republic of India, who is called as a real head of government? Options are President of India, Prime Minister of India, Chief Justice of India, and Speaker of Lok Sabha. The correct answer is Prime Minister. Even though the president is the nominal executive head, the prime minister is the real executive head in India. So basically, how the prime minister is appointed? Appointed by the president under Article 75, typically as a leader majority party in Lok Sabha. And what does the word mean? The prime, which is mean most important minister who actively runs and leads the government's day-to-day affairs. So in that way, you can remember prime minister is one of the main important head. So president is the head of the state, while the prime minister is the head of the government. So also remember the president is the head of the state, but the prime minister is the head of the government. The next question is, who was the first Indian citizen to win a Nobel Prize? Who was the first Indian citizen to win a Nobel Prize? The options are C.V. Raman, Rabindranath Tagore, Mother Teresa, and Amartya Sen. The answer is Rabindranath Tagore. So Rabindranath Tagore won the Nobel Prize in Literature in the year 1913 for his acclaimed collection of poems, Geet Anjali. So he composed the national anthem of two countries, India, Janagana Mana, which we sing, and Bangladesh national anthem, Amar Shonar Bangla. So in Bangladesh, the national anthem is called Amar Shonar Bangla. Now the historic mnemonic. The legendary Gurudev, so Rabindranath Tagore is also known as Gurudev, was the first to bring a global literary honor in India in 1913 because he was the first person to win Nobel Prize. He brought that big award to India in 1913. So he's also called as Gurudev. An extra point. Sir C.V. Raman was the first Indian to win a Nobel Prize in Physics in the year 1930 for his discovery of the Raman effect. And it was happened on 28th February. That's why we celebrate 28th February as National Science Day. The last question for today is the Siachen Glacier, known as the highest battlefield, is located in which mountain range? The Siachen Glacier, known as the highest battlefield, is located in which mountain range? The options are Sanskar Range, Karakoram Range, Pir Panjal Range, and Ladakh Range. And the correct answer is Karakoram Range. So it is located in the eastern Karakoram Range in the Himalayas, just northeast of the NJ9842 point. India launched the Operation Meghadoot in 1984 to gain administrative control over the glacier. So you can remember this glacier with the Operation Meghadoot, which was launched in 1984. So protecting the nation in freezing the temperature requires black magic or Karakoram. So Kara, so black magic also called Kara. So in that way, you can remember to protect the nation in freezing temperature, you need a black magic or you need a Kara. So Karakoram range is associated with this glacier. Okay, in that way, you can remember this question's answer. So that's all for today's video. So hope you liked it. If you liked it, please press the like button and subscribe for more questions in the upcoming days. We discuss here only exam relevant GK questions for highly competitive examinations. Thank you.